Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome. My name is Tara, and I am so excited to have you all this afternoon slash evening, depending upon where you are. I'm in California, so it's still the afternoon for me. Welcome to this digital workshop where we're looking at non-digital content. And again, thrilled to have you all with us. This session, of course, is being recorded. So if you're watching the recording, welcome to you as well. This is a digital workshop. So remember, you have the opportunity to interact, and that's what we want you to do. This is a space that you can, in fact, turn your cameras on. You have full access to cameras and microphones. So feel free to pipe in, ask your questions. Yes, you can also utilize the chat, but you do not have to. Okay. I have our resident expert, our PD trainer, Carissa, with us, and I'm going to let her take it away. Thank you, Carissa, and welcome.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tara. Hello, everyone. Thanks for jumping on. My name is Carissa, and I am one of the PD trainers here at ViewSonic. As we kind of get started, if you would like to just kind of sit and watch, and then you can, have access to the recording, great. If you'd like to try to follow along and work with me, that is totally great too. Hi, Dora. For those of you that are here, if you wouldn't mind, let's start out by letting me know where you're located in the chat. Or hey, if you want to unmute, feel free. And also, I'm curious, how did you hear about this workshop today? Did you hear about the workshop from our community, or did you hear about our workshop from an on-site training? So just a few questions to keep you busy while we get started here.
Yes. And again, feel free to
Awesome.
drop it into chat, or if you want to come off mute.
Perfect. Thanks, Dora. All right. We've got Kansas City. All right. I'm in Southwest Florida. It's nice and toasty here today. Heard from an email. California. Awesome. All over the place. Great. Houston. Very nice. Okay. So while you're settled and getting ready to either just watch or participate, our plan today is to focus on non-digital content, and that is with our companion app, possibly using a document camera if you have one, or if not, utilizing a feature on our companion app, which is called Throw. Okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll actually get prepared to utilize these features by going to our website and customizing some of our settings and preferences on myviewboard.com. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen on my ViewBoard so that you can see and follow along. Okay. Let's check. It looks like we're good. Perfect. All right, so I'll minimize my ViewBoard app. If you don't have yours open, go ahead and open that because we will need that too. All right. And that we're going to myviewboard.com. As you can see, I already have that open on my ViewBoard. Now this you can just do from your laptop. You don't have to do this on your board. We just want to customize our settings and preferences the way that we would like them to configure. So once we're there, we'll go ahead and sign in the top right. It says sign in, and sign in with your single sign-on that you created your ViewBoard account. If you do receive a pop-up like I just received, this is a new setting on our website. So you'll want to make sure you go ahead and click that you're an adult and you agree to the terms next. And then choose your role. I'll go ahead and tap teacher, next. If you've already clicked those within the past few days, go ahead and just hang tight. Perfect. So now what we'll do is we're going to customize just a few settings that we might like to change for utilizing Throw. in the top right where you see my picture, I'll go ahead and tap on my picture, and we're going to look at what's called the My ViewBoard name. You might have already changed your My ViewBoard name in the past, but I just want to point out, if you'd like, you can change your My ViewBoard name so that it's a little bit shorter than your full email address. As you can see, my ViewBoard name is just my first name, Carissa. So you can go ahead, tap the pencil, customize that to what you'd like for it to be. Make sure you're not putting any spaces in there. Okay, I'll cancel that because I want to keep my name as is. And then when you're all finished with that, you can go ahead and minimize that setting for now. Minimize that just in case if we need it later. I'll give folks a minute for it just in case if you're participating. I'll check the chat real quick, make sure there's nothing that anybody needs. So the next thing we'll do is we'll actually get right to it. Let's go ahead and open up our My ViewBoard app. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to point out to you is with our companion app, I'll go ahead and pull up a QR code of that on the screen, and I'll show you a few things in the camera. So you've got choose where you're gonna look. I'll pull up a QR code for you. If you don't already have the app, here is a QR code for you to download it. On the companion app, you will have two different options to sign in. I'll show you an image of that in just a moment. I want to show it to you in the camera first real quick. The first thing about the companion app I wanted to cover today is there is a little QR code that will allow us to sign into the My ViewBoard app without having to press the G for Google and doing the single sign-on or doing the Microsoft single sign-on. So here's that QR code if you need that. I'll give folks a moment. So now when I need to sign in, right, because nobody signed in on my board right now, there's no name indicating that Carissa is signed in. I will go to the tiny head and shoulders in the bottom right corner to get my sign in window to come back up for me. You can see that there. So now I can simply take my companion app that is logged into my Google single sign-on and aim the QR code from my companion app at the QR code on the screen to sign in. Just like that, real quick, easy, and it says, Carissa, would you like to stay signed in? Yes, I will. This will automatically log me in every single day when I open the ViewBoard app. Perfect. So now I'll go ahead and show you my notes here. Just a reminder, we're talking about the companion app, So the next up, we'll take a look at the document camera for those who do have one. Now I am going to use a little bit of an older webcam to show you how you can plug your dot cam into your ViewBoard and use that within the My ViewBoard app. So we're only needing to teach from one tool. I'll plug that into the blue USB port in the front of my board. And then for those of you that are already familiar with importing with the Magic Box, we can find this tool and bring in what we'd like to see by using the Magic Box. The Magic Box is that brown box with the blue stuff inside in that main toolbar. I'll tap my Magic Box, and in the top row, there's a lot of icons there, but if you look carefully, you see one that looks just like a document camera, which also looks a little bit like the Pixar logo. Tap on that, and it will give me choices based on whatever is connected to my board right now. Give it another tap. Pull up my camera. Let's switch cameras real quick. Get you a different one here. Doesn't want to take that one today. No problem. I'll grab this one over here. There we go. We'll just do a little switcheroo. Okay, so now it's offering me the option to open up my ViewSonic webcam. So go ahead and checkbox that. And I'll pull my notes in front of there so we can see. Here's our notes for today. On the screen, you'll notice we have the option. Let me turn that real quick so we can see here. There we go. Companion, dot cam, and throw. It's a little fuzzy, so the drop-down arrow will allow us to change the dimensions and the quality of the image. The orange rectangles allow us to flip horizontal and flip vertical. Now, if this was facing the wrong direction, we could rotate with the swirly arrow. This is, as you can see, a live video, right? I can only see one place at a time, whether I'm looking down or looking up at you all. So I'll go ahead and pause that live video. There we go. And there is also that camera lens, which is now next to the play. If I take that camera lens, it'll take a screenshot for me. So now, instead of writing underneath my document camera or Ladybug, I can go ahead, close that out, and write directly on the screen on top of the worksheet or the physical manipulative or whatever it is that I've needed to show underneath my doc cam. Go ahead and pause there for a moment and check the chat and make sure everybody's good. Let me check real quick. I love using the dot cam and whiteboard. I wish it, now you can make it bigger. Let's actually go ahead and open that back up. I'm going to aim it at the wall because it's kind of hard to hold the paper at the same time. So let me go ahead and open that back up for you. I don't want to make anybody seasick. Magic box, dot cam. Check that off. We'll aim it at the wall there. All right, so real quick, to the attendee that mentioned that, let's take a look here. We have options. Yes, I do have the drop down to change the size, but if you look in the bottom right of the viewing window, bring it a little bit closer if I can. Bottom right, there's a triangle of squares. In the camera right where I'm waving my pointer finger, a triangle of squares. That will let you drag it bigger and bigger.
That doesn't work though.
So try that.
Can you demonstrate that for us? Because it doesn't work at our district.
If need be, you can always, why don't you, drop your email in the chat and I can follow up with you. Is that okay? Thank you, Dan. Teamwork makes the dream work. All right. So go ahead, give that a try if you need. Drop your email in the chat. There we go. Perfect. Thank you. And then if a teacher has an iPad, yes, we're going to talk about that. I love that question. Yes. Okay. Any other questions, comments before we move on there? I'll go ahead and go back to where we had that image real quick because I want to mention one more thing on this here. You'll want to note that because we took a picture, right, if I'm using a physical worksheet, right, as you saw my little notepad here, if we're using a physical worksheet, this image is a movable object. So if I want to use this like a worksheet, like when I annotate on a PDF or a doc, you'll want to tap that image and lock it on the page in order for your annotations to stick and stay put. Okay, so that's another quick little pro tip there. Now, if I go ahead and I annotate, let's change the color to red. We'll just put companion.cam. If I use the infinite canvas to zoom in a smidge, you'll notice that my annotations are sticking because it's locked. Okay. And if you need a little recap or review of that, feel free, on the recording. That'll get posted on our YouTube channel and in the community. If you need another, review, if you want to try it again with practicing and pausing. So that'll be available to you as well. All right, so let's take a look at how we can use the companion app or an iPad to as a document camera instead, because maybe you're like, well, Carissa, that's great, but I don't have a document camera. Okay, so our companion app will allow for you to take advantage of taking a picture of anything you want, whether that is a paper, a poster, manipulatives, your students' work, and displaying that on the ViewBoard in the matter of seconds. Okay, so again, make sure you're on your ViewBoard app, you're signed in, and also make sure you have your companion app on your phone or iPad, and you're signed in as well. What I'll do real quick is I'll pull up the images I wanted to show you. I'm going to go to the magic box, my Google Drive, and I'm going to pull up 2 images that I'd like to give you as a visual so you can see what's happening on the tiny phone screen here. This is a great high-level overview of how to import. I'm going to go to the magic box, my Google Drive, and double-click my drive, and then my photos. Let's grab companion, and let's grab throw. 2 screenshots here for you to see what is going on. All right, so here's a nice visual of how to log into your companion app. You want to log in as the host. The teacher is always the host. Make sure you use your single sign-on, whether that is with Google or Microsoft. And then you could take advantage of signing in with the QR code like I showed you. Okay, there's some other things we'll look at, but let's take a look at how we throw, which is the paper airplane on the main screen. And I'll actually pause for just a moment to give folks a second to get logged in there if you're not already logged in, and especially for my friend on the chat who asked about the iPad. You can put this app on your iPad. So I'll give you a moment to download that if you don't already have it. And let's pull that QR code back up again too. There we go, just in case. Okay, and again, remember, if you're watching the recording, feel free to pause if you need to pause, if you need more time. If you need to try again later, this will be available to you. So let's take a look at how we throw with our app. I'll go ahead and get that back up here. I'll tap on that paper airplane to throw. I'm showing you in the camera right now. And then it's giving me the option to choose between taking a picture with my camera or browsing for a photo that I already have. Okay, so maybe I'm wandering the classroom and I want to take a picture of a poster on the wall or one of my students' work. Camera, go ahead and take my picture. And then it shows you a preview of your photo and says retry or okay. That's fine. Okay. I'm going to actually go ahead and make a clean page so it'll come up on a clean page. The next step is it asks you for the host name. That's why we shortened or changed our My ViewBoard name if we chose to do so, right? My ViewBoard name is just my first name, Carissa. Yours is either your full email or whatever you changed it to at the beginning of our session. And now I'll go ahead and tap on the paper airplane to send the image. Now you can see if you're watching the camera, I'm real close to the computer. I'm not touching the board, right? Both of my hands are right here. It says that it's throwing. Success. I'll tap got it. Would I like to open the photo on the whiteboard? Yes. Perfect. There it is. Much better this time. Not as fuzzy as me trying to hold it in front of that camera, huh? So let's go ahead and make it bigger. Another fun little pro tip for you is if I tap and select it, I'm going to crop out that extra stuff at the top, that part of my desk there, and maybe the bottom a little too. The crop image in the adorning menu is 3 over 1, 2, 3, 4 down. It looks like a square with little ends hanging out. That up just a smidge. Crop. Drag the circles in how you want it. The corners. I'm just going to go drag the circles. There we go. Drag. And then when you're all done, make sure you press the check mark to accept the changes. There we go. And then don't forget to lock it. Make it the size you want. Lock it on the page. If you don't need the writing to stay, then you don't need to lock it. There we go. We'll give it a lock. All right, let's check off. We did companion, we did .chem. We're in the middle of throw, right? Okay, so now my writing will stick because I locked it. I'll take a quick peek at the chat and make sure there aren't any questions at the moment. Oh, good. I'm so glad that that worked. Thank you for passing that tip along, Dan. Okay. I'll give folks a second to give that a try, and then I'll show you just a few more things. Were you able to get the app on your iPad? For those of you that asked? Just curious. Great. Perfect. Hi, Jason.
Hi, how are you? Sorry I'm late.
It's okay. We're just working on a throw at the moment.
Oh, nice.
All right, for those of you that are participating and giving this a try while watching, let's do a quick check-in. I've red, yellow, or green on throw. Red, I need some support. Yellow, I feel comfortable trying this. I might need to watch the video to try it a couple more times. Or green, I think I can do this all by myself confidently. You don't mind dropping that in the chat for me to do a quick check-in on you. Red, yellow, green. Awesome. Love it. That's great. Perfect. Yay. All right. So let's take a look. Oh, Tara, you were going to say something? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I was just cheering with you.
Oh, I get a little excited sometimes. All right. So I'll show you just a few more fun little pro tips, and then we'll save some time for any questions that you all might have, whether they are related to the topic or maybe not. So going on back to our images real quick, I want to show you before I demonstrate. Now that we have our companion app open. I'll make this a little bigger for us. That's a little too big. We can now take advantage of the, get rid of this annotation. There we go. All right. The options for the remote control options for the companion app, you access them by tapping, I've circled in yellow, the phone with the Wi-Fi signals coming out of the top, in the bottom, in the middle. We have some options here. Now, this is fantastic if you're the type of person who likes to walk around the classroom, or if you have a student that needs your proximity, or maybe you're just not near the board at the moment. I can use the arrows at the bottom to change the page, so I'll go ahead and do that by tapping on my phone. The ViewBoard and my screen share behind me are changing the page. I also really enjoy using the laser feature, which is the phone with the antenna coming out of it. Go ahead and circle that in blue. Okay, now the way to use this is I touch and hold the laser icon, and then I move my phone around. Okay, touch and hold, and then move your phone around to aim the laser at the screen for your students. Last but not least, at the very top, you see the toggle that says laser pointer. This will change your laser into a remote highlighter. Okay, now I know you can't see that on the screen because that's just a screenshot. I'll show you in the camera. It says remote highlighter. I'll press on it's now a pencil. I'll press on the pencil and it will highlight. Now I'm very close to the board. I'm having a hard time aiming it. It's a lot easier in your more spacious classroom. Can highlight. One thing you'll want to note is that if you highlight from your phone or iPad, you have to delete the highlight from the phone or iPad. You cannot delete that from the board. Okay, I'll go ahead and trash those scribbles. Let's try it. Give it another try here. That's much better. Okay. So I'll give you a few minutes to try that out while we still have some support. For those of you that are also, again, practicing while we're working and learning together, check-in question for you this time is, what is your favorite feature of the remote control features? Changing the page, the laser, the remote highlighter, or maybe something else? Check and make sure you feel confident being able to do that on your own. Yeah, me too. Sometimes I press it a little too quickly though. Very nice. Thank you. Thank you for answering and sharing. Laser and changing the page. Very good. So I will see if anyone has any questions at the moment while we're together still. If you have any questions on your mind with regards to the specifics that we talked about today, or anything on your mind that is not related to Throw and Companion, I'm happy to help you out as best I can. If anyone on the meeting has any questions at the moment.
Question about Air Swift. Is that an okay question to ask now?
AirSync, is that what you
Yeah,
mean?
AirSync. Yeah, AirSync.
Yeah, go for it. I'm here, Dan's here, so whatever you need.
Awesome. So I know we have the screen sharing like within my ViewBoard for like the student engagement, where they can like join and share their screen. What is AirSync a good one to replace using with kids instead of using the My ViewBoard one? Or is that still recommended to use the one in My ViewBoard? I don't know if my question makes sense.
It does make sense. I think really it's a matter of trying it out in preference. It's an option. I definitely would try it out and kind of get a feel and comfortability with it. And I also would love to, I don't know, Dan, if you're available to chime in to defer to his expertise as well as we kind of get comfortable with learning how to use it.
It's definitely a nicer, like if you just bring up the AirSync app on the ViewBoard, and it's so easy for kids to share. But the thing that stinks is then you have to toggle between the software sometimes to get back to the whiteboarding software. So I just didn't know if it was like the plan to replace it down the road or what.
It won't
Jason,
be replacing VCast, but you'll have the option. Yeah, go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
Jason, good to see you. So AirSync is for casting only, right? We're going to keep the wireless presentation in my ViewBoard because of what you were just describing. There might be a situation where you want to present inside the whiteboard software and then capture that student's screen and add it to the whiteboard. And so for those of you who've used my ViewBoard before, we really try to make a tool that does everything in one spot, right? Your document cameras, your wireless presentation, your web browsing, your presentations, whether writing on websites, like all in one tool. You don't need separate tools for all those different things. However, if you want to use AirSync for student presentation, we've designed that for that as well, right? So I would say it's both and not really either or.
Thank you, Dan. You said that much more eloquently than I was able to compose.
So it just kind of depends on the purpose then. Like you said, if you want to grab a screen, do it within my ViewBoard. But if it's just a quick presentation, the AirSync's a perfect, or Direct Connect, obviously. Cool. Thank you so much.
Welcome so much. All right. Does anyone else have any questions?
Are there any plans to beef up the poll feature, or is that kind of where Class Swift is taking over?
A good guess. You're right on the right track there.
Okay.
All right. I will actually pull up our resource page real quick just to make sure, if you haven't already seen it and the way that it's been revamped somewhat recently, that you're familiar with it. And if you'd like to grab credit for your time showing up this afternoon or evening, you can do that. Okay. So let me pull that up real quick. I will reshare my screen just in case. Oh, shit. Oh, I have to do as I say, not as I do. Delete that highlight. Screen. Let me do this real quick though for y'all. Okay, that's back on. Beautiful. Let's get rid of that highlight because it is completely in the way. All right. There, much better. All right, so let's move on over to our resource page here, just in case if you're not familiar with the new way that it looks. I'm sure we all are. On the Left-hand side is our handy-dandy little cheat sheet that a lot of folks enjoy printing out to use as a resource. And then on the right are all of our helpful links if you want to collaborate in the community. You can ask questions. Maybe someone at ViewSonic will answer your question. Maybe another wonderful ViewBoard user teacher will answer your question, right? That's the point of our community. Our YouTube channel is one of my very favorite resources because we keep it very organized and we're updating things as much as we can. There is a feature request. Okay, a few other things. And then last but not least is I will make sure that you are able to get credit for your time today. So I'll scroll down for you. What I'd like for you to do is I'll drop this in the chat in just a moment, is I'd like for you to go to the page and I'd like for you to, at the top, click log in. Now, most of you I know are already in our community. I want to make sure you get logged in. Okay. The website is vsfinch.es/resources. Then we click login, and then we scroll down and we can click to fill out the form. Let me drop it in the chat before I move on and show you what to do to get credit for today.
Sorry, I put the wrong one.
Type in this for you. Okay. And then once you type that in, you click login at the top, scroll all the way down, click to fill out the form. The form will open in a new tab. You'll choose the option of the course that says Educator Community Webinar. It's almost at the bottom. It's the second to last option. Okay. And again, my name is Carissa ElChehabi. Give folks a moment to take care of that.
Could you go through the steps again? I'm sorry.
Absolutely, I'd be happy to. I know you said you had to pop off for a second. We are here and we're going to, let me write it on the screen for you. It might be a little bit easier to see that way. vsfinch.es/resources. Okay. That is this web page. Click login. Scroll all the way down till you find the purplish bluish bubble that says click to fill out the form. Thank you, Jason. It was nice to see you.
Nice to see you again too.
Yes, it is. I'll switch tabs for you. Thank you, Kim. I saw you typing. I was like, I know there's something's brewing. Response is educator community webinar, the second to last one. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. Yes, yes. So the recording it will go up on our YouTube channel. It will also be posted in the community as well. And filling out this form here will send you the certificate for your time as well as the resource webpage. So that way you can just click right on that YouTube channel as well. Okay. Good, great question, Liz. Thank you.
Okay, I think most of you all have completed the evaluation, so thank you for that.
Perfect.
Oh, wow, awesome. Thank you for the updates, Liz. And thank you, Carissa. That was amazing. I appreciate all your questions. Good to see you, Jason. I wanted to remind you all that hopefully you all are community members. But if you're not, definitely join the community because as we are getting more folks in these sessions, it does give me an opportunity to give stuff away. So you can always, I'm going to share my screen really quick before we say goodbye to one another. But you can either drop a reflective comment here in the thread. Of course, this is the promotion or post for Carissa's session. You can add something here, anything that you've learned, or you can drop it here within our community, our PD space. So you decide. These are the name. I'm getting a little bit of a list together. What's important is that you've actually participated in a session, and since you all have, you're definitely eligible to drop a reflective post here. So if there aren't any questions, we can. And I just want to make sure everyone is clear on signing into the community. You all had access to this page here. This is the page or link rather that Carissa just shared. You can go to the community here. Okay, or you can use either of these. You can use the QR code here to log in. Remember, if you're not a member yet, you'll only log in once, meaning having to actually add your credentials. Moving forward, you'll just seamlessly go in once you click on, once you go into or type in the community or click on any of the logins from this page or others. Any final questions? Final questions, comments? Okay. Thank you all again. We'll be back in 2 weeks for another Thursday Teaching Toolbox series. I will be posting shortly what that topic is, what our topic will be covering this time. Again, so thank you so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye to all. Thank you, Carissa.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye. You too. Bye-bye.